I found them at our table, the reservation I'd made 6 weeks ago at Bellini's, the Italian restaurant where we'd had our first date 3 years earlier. I was 20 minutes late because of traffic, already texting apologies, already feeling guilty for not being there exactly at 7. I pushed through the heavy wooden doors, spotted our corner table by the window, and froze. My boyfriend Carter was sitting across from his ex-girlfriend Natalie. They were laughing, her hand was on his arm, and between them, on the white tablecloth, sat the birthday cake I'd special ordered from the bakery 3 blocks from our apartment, the one with "Happy Birthday Carter" written in dark chocolate ganache, the one I'd picked up that morning before work and hidden in our neighbor's fridge so he wouldn't see it. It was my 28th birthday, and Carter was spending it with the woman he'd dated for 5 years before me. I'm Isabelle Hart, and this is the story of the birthday that taught me exactly how much I was worth to the man I loved, and how little he deserved me. I stood there in the doorway for maybe 30 seconds, watching them. Carter said something that made Natalie throw her head back and laugh, that familiar laugh I'd heard in videos and stories, the laugh of someone who'd known him longer than I had, who had history I could never compete with. The waiter approached them with menus. Carter didn't check his phone, didn't look toward the door, didn't seem to realize or care that his girlfriend was now 22 minutes late to the birthday dinner she'd planned for him. I could have walked over, I could have made a scene, I could have demanded explanations, thrown the cake, screamed about betrayal and disrespect, and the fact that today was supposed to be about US, not about whatever this was. But I didn't do any of those things. Instead, I took out my phone and snapped one photo, just one. Carter and Natalie at our table, her hand on his arm, my birthday cake between them, both of them looking happy and comfortable and completely unconcerned with my absence. Then I turned around and walked out of Bellini's. I didn't text him, didn't call, didn't send any message at all. I just got in my car and drove. Here's what you need to understand about my relationship with Carter. I'd spent 3 years being understanding when he needed to cancel date nights for work, understanding when he forgot my birthday last year because he was stressed, understanding when he stayed friends with Natalie despite my discomfort, because they'd known each other since college and it would be immature to throw away a friendship, understanding when he compared me to her. Natalie was always so easygoing about these things. Natalie never made a big deal about my work schedule. Natalie understood the pressure I'm under. I'd spent 3 years trying to be the cool girlfriend who didn't make demands, who didn't get jealous, who trusted completely. I'd spent 3 years making myself smaller so Carter could feel bigger. And on my 28th birthday, sitting in his favorite restaurant with his ex-girlfriend and my homemade birthday cake, Carter had shown me exactly where I ranked in his priorities. I drove to my best friend Maya's apartment. She opened the door, took one look at my face, and pulled me inside. "What happened?" she asked. I told her everything. The reservation I'd made, the cake I'd ordered, walking in to find Carter with Natalie at our table, the way neither of them had even noticed I was there, the way I'd just left. Maya was quiet for a long moment. "Did you say anything to him?" "No." "Did you text him?" "No." "Good," Maya said firmly. "Don't. Let him figure it out on his own." My phone started ringing at 8:47 p.m. Carter. I declined the call. It rang again immediately. Declined. Then the texts started. "Where are you?" "Isabelle, I'm worried. Are you okay? Why aren't you answering? This isn't funny." I watched the messages come in and felt absolutely nothing. No anger, no sadness, just a cold, clear certainty that I was done. At 9:15 p.m. he called Maya. She answered on speakerphone. "Maya, is Isabelle with you? She's not answering her phone and I'm really worried." "She's fine," Maya said coolly. "Can I talk to her? We had dinner plans and she never showed up. I'm concerned something happened." The audacity, the absolute audacity. "Carter," Maya said, her voice ice. She showed up to dinner. She saw you, with Natalie, at the table she reserved, with the cake she made, on her birthday. So no, you can't talk to her, and if you ever gave a damn about her, you'll leave her alone." She hung up. The phone exploded with calls and texts, from Carter, from his friends, even from his mother, who'd always liked me, all wanting to know where I was, if I was safe, what was wrong. I turned off my phone and spent my 28th birthday eating takeout Chinese food with Maya, watching rom-coms and making a list of everything I needed to do to extract myself from Carter's life. Because here's what I'd realized sitting in Maya's apartment. This wasn't about one dinner. This was about 3 years of being second choice, 3 years of understanding when I should have been understood, 3 years of accepting less than I deserved because I loved someone who loved the idea of me, but not the reality. The next morning, I went to our apartment while Carter was at work. I'd texted him a single message: "I'm getting my things today. Please don't be there." Then I'd blocked his number before he could respond. Maya came with me. So did my brother James and his husband Marcus. We packed everything that was mine in 4 hours. Clothes, books, kitchen supplies I'd bought, furniture I'd contributed, my grandmother's quilt from the bed, the plants I'd kept alive, the art on the walls that I'd chosen. I left a note on the kitchen counter. "The rent is paid through the end of the month. I've transferred my half of utilities. My name is off the lease as of next week. I hope she was worth it." I didn't leave a forwarding address. I moved into a studio apartment in a different neighborhood, closer to my work. It was smaller than the place I'd shared with Carter, but it was mine. Every piece of furniture, every decoration, every choice was purely mine. No compromises, no "what does Carter think?" no trying to blend 2 lives into something that looked like a relationship but felt like I was constantly erasing myself. Carter tried everything. He showed up at my work 3 times before security escorted him out, and my boss threatened to file a restraining order. He sent flowers with cards that said, "I'm sorry," and "let me explain," and "it wasn't what you think." He had friends reach out saying he was devastated, that it was all a misunderstanding, that Natalie had just needed someone to talk to and he was trying to be a good friend. I ignored all of it, because even if his excuses were true, even if there was some innocent explanation for why he spent my birthday with his ex-girlfriend at the restaurant I'd reserved with the cake I'd made, the fundamental problem remained. He hadn't thought about me, hadn't considered how it would look, hadn't cared enough to text me, to invite me, to make sure I knew what was happening. He'd chosen his comfort over my feelings, again, and I was done being the understanding girlfriend who accepted that. 3 weeks after my birthday, I got a message on Instagram from someone I didn't know, a woman named Jessica Harris. "Hi, Isabelle. I hope this isn't weird, but I thought you should know something about Carter and Natalie." I almost deleted it, almost blocked her and moved on, but something made me open it instead. Jessica sent me screenshots, texts between Carter and Natalie going back months. "I miss you. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if we'd stayed together. Meeting for coffee tomorrow? Isabelle doesn't need to know. She's not like you. She doesn't understand me the way you do." The night of my birthday, according to the texts, hadn't been spontaneous. Carter had planned to meet Natalie for dinner, at the restaurant I'd reserved, on my birthday. He'd told Natalie he would deal with Isabelle and probably just cancel on her last minute because she'd understand. But I'd shown up early, ruined his plan, saw everything. "I'm Carter's cousin," Jessica's message continued. "I never liked what he was doing to you. When he told the family you'd overreacted to an innocent dinner with a friend, I couldn't stay quiet anymore. You deserved better than my cousin. I'm sorry it took me this long to tell you." I stared at those screenshots for a long time. Part of me wanted to be angry all over again, but mostly I just felt validated. My instincts had been right. The cold certainty I'd felt that night that this was bigger than one dinner had been correct. I thanked Jessica for her honesty. Then I did something I'd been considering for weeks. I posted the photo I'd taken that night. Just the one photo. Carter and Natalie at our table, looking cozy and content. I captioned it simply, "My 28th birthday, the reservation I made, the cake I ordered, the boyfriend who forgot which woman he was supposed to be with. Sometimes the trash takes itself, but sometimes you have to walk away first." I didn't tag Carter, didn't name names, didn't need to. Our mutual friends knew, his family knew. Within hours, the photo had hundreds of likes and dozens of comments from people who'd witnessed my relationship with Carter, who'd seen me make excuses for him, who'd watched me shrink myself to fit his life.
"You deserved so much better. I'm so glad you left. He never deserved you. The way you just walked away without a scene was iconic." Carter's friends tried to spin it, posted their own stories about misunderstandings and jumping to conclusions, but Jessica and several other people posted those text screenshots, showed the planning, the lies, the disrespect. Carter's reputation, especially in our friend group, was destroyed. Not because I'd trashed him publicly, but because people finally saw what I'd been dealing with for 3 years. The selfishness, the disregard, the way he'd prioritized his comfort over my feelings consistently and thought I'd just keep understanding forever. Natalie, according to mutual friends, broke things off with him a few weeks later. Apparently, when you're the other woman, it's fun and exciting. When you're the actual girlfriend dealing with someone who thinks relationships are optional and convenience is king, it's not so romantic anymore. Carter sent me one last message from a new number I hadn't blocked yet. "Isabelle, I know I messed up, but what you did, posting that photo, was cruel. You ruined my reputation, made me look like a villain. I made one mistake, and you destroyed me over it." I read that message 3 times. Then I wrote back, "Carter, I didn't destroy you. I took one photo of reality. Everything that happened after that was people responding to your actual behavior, not some fictional narrative. You spent 3 years making me feel like my needs were unreasonable, like my hurt feelings were overreactions, like I should be grateful you tolerated my existence. That photo, that was just the moment I stopped protecting you from the consequences of your own actions. If the truth destroyed you, maybe you should have lived a different truth." Then I blocked that number too. 6 months after my birthday, I was thriving. I'd gotten a promotion at work, made new friends who actually valued me, started dating someone who thought my birthday was important enough to plan around, not through. My apartment was cozy and peaceful and entirely mine. I saw Carter once at a mutual friend's wedding. He was there with a date, someone I didn't recognize. He saw me across the reception hall and froze. I smiled politely, the way you smile at someone you used to know but no longer have any connection to, and turned back to my conversation. Later, he approached me at the bar. "Isabelle, you look good." "Thank you. I've been thinking about you, about us, about that night." "Have you?" "I was an idiot. I should have never... I didn't handle things well, but what we had was special. Don't you think we could try again? Start fresh?" I looked at him, really looked at him, and realized I felt nothing. No love, no anger, no longing. Just mild curiosity that I'd once cared so much about someone who'd cared so little about me. "Carter," I said gently, "what we had was me giving everything and you taking it for granted. That's not special. That's not love. That's just me not knowing my worth yet. I hope you find someone who makes you happy, but it won't be me. It can't be me because I finally understand that I deserve someone who wouldn't dream of choosing anyone else, especially not on my birthday." I walked away. Again, but this time it felt different. Not angry or hurt, just peaceful. Final. My name is Isabelle Hart. On my 28th birthday, my boyfriend spent the evening with his ex-girlfriend at the restaurant I'd reserved with the cake I'd made without even thinking to tell me. I walked in, saw them together, took one photo, and left without saying a word. I didn't scream, didn't fight, didn't try to compete for his attention. I just walked away and kept walking until I built a completely new life that didn't include someone who thought I was optional. People ask me if I regret how I handled it, if I should have given him a chance to explain, if I was too harsh. My answer is always the same. I gave him 3 years of chances, 3 years of understanding, 3 years of being the girlfriend who didn't make waves, and on the one day that was supposed to be about celebrating me, he showed me exactly how much that understanding was worth to him. So no, I don't regret it. I regret staying as long as I did. I regret all the times I made myself smaller. I regret every moment I spent trying to earn love that should have been freely given.
But I don't regret walking away. I don't regret that photo. I don't regret choosing myself when he'd spent years choosing himself first. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. No explanations demanded, no second chances given, no dramatic confrontations, just silence, distance, and the absolute refusal to accept less than you deserve. Carter wanted me to fight for him, to compete with Natalie, to prove my worth. Instead, I walked away and proved to myself that I was worth more than someone who made me feel like I had to fight at all. If you're with someone who makes you question your worth, who compares you to others, who prioritizes their comfort over your feelings, hear this. You don't owe them understanding. You don't owe them chances. You don't owe them anything except the truth that you deserve better. And sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is walk away without looking back. Let them figure out what they lost. Let them deal with the consequences of taking you for granted. Let them sit at that table with their choices and realize too late that the person who truly loved them just walked out the door. I spent my 28th birthday realizing my boyfriend didn't value me. I spent the rest of that year learning to value myself. And that's the only birthday gift I needed, the clarity to see I deserved better, and the courage to demand it. Carter thought I'd always be there, always understanding, always accepting whatever he gave me. He was wrong, and the moment I walked out of Bellini's without a word was the moment I took back my power and my future. He spent my birthday with his ex. I said nothing, just made sure he saw me walk away for good. And that silence, that choice, that refusal to fight for someone who wouldn't fight for me, that was the best gift I ever gave myself. The life I have now, the peace I feel, the person I've become, none of it would exist if I'd stayed, if I'd fought, if I'd given him one more chance to disappoint me. Sometimes love means holding on, but sometimes love, real love for yourself, means letting go. And the moment you choose yourself, the moment you walk away from someone who doesn't see your worth, that's when your real life begins. Mine did. The moment I turned around and left that restaurant, I started walking toward everything I'd been missing. Freedom, self-respect, a future with someone who would never make me doubt my place in their life. And Carter? He's still figuring out why the best thing that ever happened to him walked away without a fight. Maybe someday he'll understand. But honestly, that's no longer my problem to solve. I walked away, and I've never looked back.